I was just mentioning, hello, Maria. It is so good to see you. I've missed you dearly, and I'm very, very glad you're here. I was thinking a lot about this group moving forward. And one of the things that I really, really valued about a lot of some of the other programs that I've done is the level of access to actually like the things that I was actually doing week to week. And when I'm working with people one on one, I a lot of times will be like sharing, we'll be going through their pillars again, we'll be refining their messaging. I'll literally like have their content calendar pulled up and like we'll have the presentations that they're doing. Like I will actually like have that pulled up for the program. And like I will actually be editing things on their documents as we coach together. Now, Demetria knows the first round that I did this, there are so many like worksheets and things to go through. What happened is I got really overwhelmed with the amount of things that like I was like, oh my gosh, if I have to go through, I think it's something like 50 things per person, that would be a lot. That would be a lot of stuff to be going through. And I got overwhelmed at the idea of it. And I kind of just shut it down very quickly without thinking about where I wanted this business to go. So last week, I had this awesome coaching call, and I realized that I want this group to be more interactive and strategy based, along with having the mindset aspect. Because I think that a lot of times what happens is like on these calls, we talk a lot about the mindset, which is so, so important. And it's like everything. We want to like be building that mindset. However, I also want to learn more about like, I want to be like in your pillars every week. I was like with Demetria yesterday for a one-on-one call, which by the way, feel free to book them within these next couple of weeks. We're going to do another one-on-one call, but I want it to be like, okay, let's pull up your pillars again. Let's see where your messaging is here. How is this being reflected in each presentation that you're doing? And that's the way that this group, I would like to shift for these last 4 sessions. Can you believe it? It's like we only have four, which is crazy. 6 months is like flying by. But I want to make it like that within our group this round. And then for any future rounds of the mastermind, that's going to be how it is. So everyone is going to submit to me everything that they have. And I realized within my time for the week, I have capacity for like up to 30 within that kind of like a setup. I was like, that is the absolute most I could take. I know that people won't necessarily be submitting things every week, but I want it to be like a lot more interactive. And I'm also going to this nobody knows this yet. And I'm very excited about it. I'm like, oh my gosh. But I'm going to be actually hiring people to work for me, and they're going to be like the coaches that are going to be checking that stuff. So I'm actually going to do a certification, and I'm going to do like a business system certification so you can get certified in the six-figure system process. And then those select few people who are actually like checking the systems will be certified. So that is just so you guys have an idea of where the future of this is going. It's going to be a really big shift. The mastermind is going to probably feel pretty different. And I want to keep that consistency for you guys with talking. If I think you guys joined for a lot of mindset, and I think that's really, really great. And I will give you as much mindset as y'all need. Like we will get into it like we have been doing. And I also want to add in a little bit more of the strategy, because I think that's something that's really important. Um, and something that like I check with my one-on-one clients, and the coaching I got was like, let's just do it for everybody. And I was like, that's a really good idea. So the certification won't be coming out at least for this round. That'll probably be for like the next round. That's something that I'm thinking about launching in November. So that's got some time for that. But still, very exciting news on the six-figure systems front. And I feel like it's just like, it's more me, like for me to be like, okay, like let's get your thoughts cleaned up, and then let's like make a presentation. Let's like write a post. What are we going for this week? How are we moving you forward? And when I was talking about like being more me, that's what I want to include. So really big shift that's coming up. I'm excited. I think it's going to be like, because I don't know many other programs. The only way that, so this was, and Demetria knows another girl, Dorit, and I met last round because she was like actually like the coach checking the work. So she in this program called Online Coach Accelerator, which was an awesome, awesome program for me, but it got discontinued. And so it's going to be like a baby between like Six Figure Systems and a little bit of Online Coach Accelerator. And we're just going to like meet together in the middle, and it's going to be awesome. So Andrea, just so you hear this firsthand, lots of changes are coming to the mastermind. I'm going to actually be checking your work for the next round. So I'm going to have not only your PSPR for your offers, but each person's going to get I'm going to make folders for each person in the next round. And I'm going to see every presentation that you have, your marketing calendar, every post that you have, like in the exact way that we've had it before. How you're setting up everything is going to be something that I'm also going to like have a part in. So very excited about that. Excited for your one-on-one sessions. I'm excited for this last month. There was another thing, and I was like, you should write it down, Megs. You're going to forget. And I was like, didn't do it. Did not do that. So in any event, I'm going to be doing your coaching today. I'm going to like have all this up. However, if we need to rework within this last month, your core 4, if you want to rework or your core pillars, I haven't said that in a long time. If you want to go over, I had mentioned to Demetria, we're going to go through maybe like the outline for her presentation. I'm actually going to have that up, and we'll be switching between the regular coaching document and documents that are going on for other people. So you won't necessarily have the notes for like everything. So just be taking notes on your own for things that you find valuable. So that was a lengthy explanation, but I really do think that this is like the thing that a lot of people between your first 6 figures, I think having someone in the weeds with you, knowing exactly what you're going through, knowing exactly what your business looks like, not just like the vision, but like really getting back in is, I think, something that's needed. And I'm excited to be a person who's bringing it. So oh my gosh. And also I've been in like, as I have realized that this is like what I want to do, literally like just so much like self-concept work has been shifting for me, and it's been awesome, but like, ooh, it has been the most. We have been in it. So that is that for today. Oh, I'm going to take a picture of us. Sorry. So big changes, and think about what you want some coaching on. Hello, beautiful friends. Vindy, also no need to put on your camera at all, but I just like to take a picture. 1, 2, 3. I don't know if you guys saw the one from last week. I was literally like, it was a lot. It was an adventure and a half. Okay, so who wants some coaching to get us started? And I need to find the document. Okay, here we are.
I can go if no one else is jumping. And I know I have to scheduling. I have a doctor's appointment and I can stay until 9. So I will go first.
Awesome.
And then I will have to leave.
Just start us off with a little win.
Yeah. That I'm on the call.
Yes, on the call. So proud of you.
Wild couple of months. I don't know exactly what I want coaching on. I kind of just feel like maybe this is a little bit more of an update. I feel like I had a really amazing webinar. I felt really good about it. I invited fucking everyone that I really felt like. So like, yeah, I feel like the last time I was really like engaged and connected with my business was like the webinar. And then like so many things kind of have happened in the last month. I mean, it feels like it's been much longer than a month of being like, really like not so connected to my business for like, good reasons. And I'm like, it's not like I'm, mad at myself or anything for that.
You don't,
but I am at a point where I'm like finding a reentry or like and there's like a few like things that I like know I know that I want to do.
Yeah.
Like
And
there's been some follow. Oh, go ahead.
just so everybody knows this, like there's like we've messaged separately, but like
Yes.
anything that you don't even need to explain that to me. Like if you're ever going through some like very big stuff, I
Yeah.
love you. And if like you haven't been on calls for a little bit, like I just am trusting that like everything's okay. And you don't need to share about that in the group if you don't feel comfortable for anything. Like Andrea, I know we got into like some deep stuff last week, and I really am so grateful. I feel like we really are a family. Like we're here to support you. And also let's support you finding reentry. Let's help you.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm kind of like recapping because I'm just also like I'm talking a little bit like out loud about I haven't.
Oh, Maria, I can't hear you. Can you guys hear Maria? Did her connection go out? Crap. Okay.
Hold on.
Can you hear us, Maria? Okay, I can see you now. Oh, changing Wi-Fi. I see now. Okay, awesome.
Um.
We can see you now. Can you hear us?
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Okay. Awesome. Sorry about that. I just changed to 5G.
good, good.
I don't know where I cut off there. Yeah, I'm kind of like processing in the moment right now. I kind of have been like even as I've had like maybe a little bit more mental space, I'm still kind of like I'm still processing some grief and like and finding that I'm like, okay, I'm not going to force myself into feeling like super motivated whenever I might need to rest or like other things. But so like in this moment right now, I'm kind of like I'm maybe, yeah, the coaching I need is like, what are like the top three things that would help me feel like reconnect, like get back into my business and feel like to slowly be able to like as I'm kind of saying it, it's like the beautiful thing about this program is like there are the systems, and I've been like up until the webinar, all of the systems were kind of like running. So
Mm-hmm.
there's like now that okay, so I'm getting a little clarity. So it's like I did like there I was reaching out, I was like talking to tons of people, and like I was had my documents of like all of my contacts, and I invited like everyone that it was like the webinar also was like this really beautiful moment to understand like the different needs of my clients. So like the webinar was about delegating, which is naturally a function of it was a delegation for specifically managers. So it gave me a little bit of like an opener, a conversation opener to be like, who of all these people that I've been like communicating with and that I have connection with now need more like management type like executive coaching, and who's like an individual contributor, because those are there's like always some overlap, but I do think it's like pretty important in my business to understand like the specific needs, right? What specific things are people working on? So like that was really a huge win and like really cool. So and that was like built on the like networking system. And then I like felt really proud of myself and like how I stayed with the webinar process, and I was like had a lot of fear about it before, and like, oh, like I'm gonna do it, or I had that kind of moment last time where I was gonna do a webinar and then I had to cancel it because I was like super morning sick, like when I was pregnant with Nora, like what, like I don't know, that's like 2 years ago. um and like even as like obstacles came up, I stayed with the process, and I was like, what is just the next thing that I can do? And I the result was like I felt like I checked all the boxes. I didn't let myself be like, oh, whatever, I'll just, I don't know, I found this really nice balance of like staying with it, staying accountable, but not also not like beating myself up if something was like a mistake or like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm so I think like the one thing that I still have follow-up to do for the webinar, like I want to like personally check in with each person and be like, hey, now, and it's I've been telling myself like, you gotta hurry up, but really it's kind of like perfect timing. I'm gonna decide right now it's perfect timing and be like, hey, it's been a month since a webinar. I'd love to check in. Like, how's it going? Have you implemented anything? Like that's in the court, like in the working world anyway. Like I feel like the pace is a lot faster when you're working for yourself and you're like, you might just change your mind about something one day and then your whole thing is like different. Where like it kind of does take like a month and you're like, oh yeah, like I maybe implemented the thing like once or twice.
Right.
Um, so I think it's like a perfect, that's like a thing that I can do and that is like feels really good and to like reconnect with individuals. Um, and then
Mhm.
I think that, yeah, it's like like getting back, just like reconnecting with the networking document and like going through and being like, okay, I have like tons of people that I can just reach out to and like reconnect with and just check in and see how they're doing. Um,
This
that's the
is
system I just want to reconnect with. I think overall, there's like some people to connect that showed up live to the webinar. I think there's like then there's like a chunk of other people who signed up, maybe weren't able to make it live, but potentially have watched the webinar in the meantime. And I want to connect with them and give them a chance to like ask questions and etc.
yeah.
Um,
And one of the things that I want to like add with like the reaching back out to people,
yeah.
like for me, I haven't reached out back out to people since May. Like I literally like, and that's why I want to just be so clear that these systems are a general structure, but it's not something that needs to be done perfectly for your business to hit six figures. It doesn't need to be done. Like it's like the reason why we create systems is to have this re-entry point, have a clarity on what the structure could and like would be awesome if it was, and also be able to like be really flexible with that and be kind with it. And so it's like as you're like reaching out to people, you don't have to explain anything about what's been going on. You don't have to say
Totally.
a word, but you could be like, hey, like, it's, I was like, it's been a crazy summer. Like, how have you been? It's like, I want to check in after the webinar. Like, it doesn't even need to be something I was messaging, Demetria on in the classroom is that it doesn't need to be something that's like a hard I need to figure out what happened at this webinar. Like, it's like, are you actually doing the things like that kind of stuff? It could be like just a way to like open back up again. And then we can be like, oh, do you remember that thing about delegation? I would love to like check in. Was that something you felt like was useful? Is like, is there anything else that like is going on? And so maybe it's like checking in with them, like as like a supporter first and then jumping in because I've realized that like the people like I think that that could be like just a really like fun and easy way to do that. Be like, hey, like, you know,
I noticed too that like when you this is I think it's an interesting thing to I love that. Yes. I love how the systems are like because there's a system and because I have like everyone's name in there and I've been slowly building that, it actually feels so much easier to then like reconnect, like for me to engage with that system just as like the owner of it. That's just like one side note that is like a compliment to you. Um, and then especially on Instagram, like in my people, not that like I'm my goal is to like work with them in a way where they're not completely slammed every moment that they have like no engagement with their outside world. But the truth is like even if you're not that busy, the way that we use Instagram is so um like bit by bit, it's so much easier to like pull little things out of people to get them to send like a one sentence response. If in the moments where I've like given them a lot, it's
mhm,
like so much hard, like you're like, oh, I have to like write a response and I'm
right.
not like even in the attention like unless someone's like really really in it and they would need to vent at that exact moment. It's like they it creates this thing where they think they have to write this big response and then they're like, I'll come back to it.
Mhm.
or maybe trying to relax or just watch something funny, and then they never respond.
Yes, and, like, so you guys can all follow her. I'll, like, share her page with you guys. Her name's Shannon, and she actually lives, like, 5 minutes from me. It's funny, but she's a huge social media mentor. She's been in the business since 20, like, for a long ass time, and she's been doing a lot of posts. I actually love just following her for you guys. If you're looking for any trending reels or something like that, it has been so helpful to get some, like, trending audio, and I'm like, "Oh, this makes sense." And the way that she's been saying is, like, talking about connection and being like, that's the whole reason why Instagram started, is just to connect with people. It's just like a connection. It's to see how people are doing. It's to, like, maybe learn a little bit. And I think that Instagram is shifting to that again, to, like, be like more than just like, oh, I come on for, like, a really serious conversation. It's like it's a mix. It's a mix of both, and having space for that just by creating connection again, fucking awesome.
Yeah. Um, so that's a place I want to connect, or like re-engage in my business.
Awesome.
I can see my brain kind of being like, you haven't posted on social media in forever.
Yep.
Um, but I've also like rewired a little bit of that whole thing of, and not relying, like not feeling like me posting on social media is like the only way that I generate clients. So
Mhm.
I feel like a lot less pressure, and I'm kind of feeling the urge to like, I was like doing I was posting like every single day, and like some days I was doing like two posts. Um I'm feeling the urge, at least for like the next couple of months, to do a little bit less.
Yeah.
Um and like let myself reprioritize, like like more one-to-one networking, or like doing networking events,
Yes.
and like connecting one-on-one, and then just like it was like good to kind of dive into like a lot of social posting, but I also like more and more I feel like it's like I don't have to have like something every single day.
Not
I
at
can totally like spread out. Like I can just like I could choose literally one concept, do a reel on Monday, and do like a couple
Mhm.
static posts like throughout the week. So my like what feels like right, at least for the next month, as I like dive into, like I'm basically like, okay, August is a little like European vacation. And I'm excited to like make the calendar for September, but I'm
Mhm.
gonna like scale it back just because yeah, that's what feels right. It feels like a way to like ease back into it without it feeling like really intense, or like a lot of like I yeah, that's
Yeah.
just what was good. There was something else that I was gonna. Oh, and the other thing is like I feel like a little disconnected from like the program, like I haven't been on calls, and I've missed you guys, and like being in the routine and stuff. And so I'm feeling the urge to just kind of like get on the Google Classroom, and like I wanted to like the one thing that I've been like thinking about from the beginning of the program is just making sure that I've like taken a moment and gone back through everything, and just make sure that like I've I've like looked at everything, whether I've like utilized everything, and just make sure that I feel really organized, and like how I've like one thing that when I started the program that I was like, gosh, I love the amount of organization, like just in in like Megan's like business folders, like everything is just so um and like taking a minute just to like actually feel like okay, everything is in its place. I know like the system with which I use my like drive basically. Um and like yeah, doing a scan, and like making sure that I've like connected with the things that I want to um connect with. And I don't feel any sense of like, oh my God, I have to watch every video before in like 1 month or anything. That feels, but yeah, just like doing a little scan. Oh, what is this?
So this I just made. I actually refilmed all the modules on Friday. So
Oh
that's
my God.
redoing all of it. I'm literally like just went back in, I clarified all this stuff, but I can share this with you guys. And this is how based on the way that like the setup looks, this is how you could make your Google Drive. So you could have one about like that first setup system that is directly linked to, and I don't know when he's going to get the videos back to me, but for all this, the like a thought work folder along with like a long-term plan folder, that could be number one. And with Google Drive, you have to organize it with numbers. So that's why it's like numbered like this. But I felt like the color coding is like, I know that's something that like a lot of people mentioned to me. They're like, we love some color coded. We are here for this. So like this is a way that if anyone, and I'm for this round, I don't know if I'm going to do this for future rounds, but I'm pretty sure I told you guys that you would have access for life for these things. And I didn't clarify that, but so I'm going to give you access for life. As far as long as Google Classroom, because I've now have like 3 classrooms, I'm like, as long as Google Classroom lets me create another folder or another classroom, you guys will have access to it. And within each system, what you can do is just go, okay, I'm going to make sure I have my offer, like my pillars, which everyone already has. I know that I've checked through that for you, but for everybody else, this is the way it's going to look. And I'm going to, with the next group, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have them organize their Google Drive like this, because that's like, you have to like save things into folders with Google Drive and things like that. So, and like, I wish I could just copy this for everybody, and I can't. Like, it won't let you copy and paste folders, which is like the most annoying thing ever. I'm like very frustrated. I'm like, if you could just let me like copy all the folders and all the documents in it, that would be so much easier, but it doesn't. So that is what I would recommend. And then like within like the only ones that have like the ones that have like the delivery system, you could have like a folder within two that's like the offer and pillars, and then you could have a separate folder that's like client results and testimonials. And then within marketing, you could have like a separate folder for like your content calendar. Oh no, that's not the one. Within selling, that's the only other one that has like multiple like folders needed, and I think I specified it. If not, I will write that on there. But like having a different place for your consults and having like a pre-consult, consult, and post-consult. That's the only other thing that's going to be like broken down in there. But I'm going to
I don't know how other people are doing it. But
that's
it might be helpful, Megan, for you to hear like as like a client who's interacting what I, because like when you make a copy, for me, because I have, because like my Gmail is how I sign into this, but I have like a different work email that's also Gmail, but I wasn't able to, and I think that's like the case for a couple, maybe a couple people.
Yep.
They have like a business email. So like when I make a copy, then it opens like a new tab, but that's technically with like my personal Gmail. And then I go and I like share it to a folder that I made that's in my business one that's called like Six Figure Systems. And so then like in what I've been doing is like within, for me, in like the way that I don't know, my brain wants to like have these things is like in that Six Figure Systems, I've got like all the originals, like the original copy of the thing that you've shared, like the document. And that stays kind of like pure or like as the original. And then I make another copy and move it into like my working business. And then it's like, okay, like the pillars, I have the template that was the original one. And then I make a copy and I fill it in for myself. And then like, you know, or like you take a document that you're going to use for your clients, and you know there's like things you customize. Then I know I always have like, where did I start, if I ever wanted to like go back and be like, wait, let me look and see how it was. I don't know, it's like for me there's like a comfort in knowing that I have the original and like that's all kind of protected, and then I like make my copy and put it in like a completely different folder as well.
So that's what I did with this OCA thing as well. Like I did the exact same thing. I like still have the blank versions of it. And then I have the copies that I made. That was like for a bunch of interviews, but I like did like MW is what I put on like a lot of them. And I was just like, MW, this is the thing. Like, it's like whatever. It's like MW's marketing calendar. They didn't
Yeah.
teach quite like this, but like, so it's like, yeah, so this is like the magic PDF that they taught us. It was like exactly what I teach you for websites. So it was like pretty much I took a lot of this. And then you see how it says like MW, like this is my client transformation,
Yeah.
like sheet and like that kind of stuff. I think that's a great way to do it. The other thing is if you see that little arrow
Yeah.
there, so fun fact, I was told when I was in college that we would have this like college email forever. And we had this at NC State, and I actually made my life coaching and all of the Megan Wing coaching was made under my college email. It was deactivated. So that's why it looks like this little arrows here. I had to share it to my drive. So when it'll be like shared with me, when you click here, then you can organize it and like make it your own. And when you share any of the documents if you've made a document on a personal Gmail account, what you can do is just share with your business Gmail.
Yeah. But
Yes.
it's like it got like when I've gone to make documents available offline, if I'm gonna go on a flight and I want to like work on a doc,
Yep.
that's the only time it's gotten wonky for me, where I'm like, oh, I need to make sure that it's like fully in, it's out of the shared folder actually, that I
Yeah.
initially shared it
Yep.
to
Or
put it into my business one. And so then it's been helpful to like move when I've moved it from the shared folder to my like business one, it officially like switches to the other email, I think, or there's some like ownership things that switch, and it made it like easier to work offline,
yeah.
which I
And
really like a lot of.
the offline thing, what I've had to do is like make available offline. And when I'm working on planes and stuff like that, I have to make sure I connect to Wi-Fi and refresh it and like make sure I've got like screenshots just in case, because it has happened before where I closed out of it, even though it was available offline, rejoined Wi-Fi and it hadn't saved it. And I was like, this is annoying. But I used to like make available offline. And you can see like, yeah, that's been an adventure and a half. But that was really helpful. Thank you for mentioning that. So, and again, you guys are gonna have access to this for life. That's not gonna be the case for like in the future. But anything that you have on here, like you can ask questions about. The other thing I wanted to say is if you want me to look over something for you, if you want me to be like, hey, can you look at this marketing calendar within this next month or things like that, just put it when you click the way that you guys see this, it looks different, right? It like doesn't, you can't see you can't click like view material. Oh, you can. Okay. So you click view material and then just go to like share. Anyone with the link can view and then copy the link, or like anyone with view can comment would be great. And you can put it here and then just tag me in it. Cause apparently I'm not also getting notifications, because I saw Demetria, you had posted in there. I'm not even getting notifications. So I'm going to switch that. But if you could also do like at Megan Wing Coaching to tag me, that would be awesome. That was like a lot of like just like technical stuff. But I think that for you with like your reentry plan,
Mhm.
what I see is like the top three, or like I think this is like kind of like a segment of this,
Mhm.
is like reconnecting, feeling like maybe if this is also like a piece of it, it's like go to like maybe one networking event. Like you don't need to do a whole bunch right away.
Yeah.
Like reconnect, do 10 a day, and that's more than enough.
Yep.
And social media posting, as you feel like it, feel free to post. If you want us to look over some stuff, if you want me to look over something, put it in the classroom, be like, hey, thinking about writing this post, feeling all the feels.
Yeah.
What do you think? Can you look over this? Can you edit this? And I've got you.
I'm also trying to like remember that like it's been like this past month has been like an interesting experiment with like you know, like another evolution of our like all of our relationship with social media, and
Yeah.
like the urge to be like haven't been around in a while, or like explaining yourself when like it's not a big fucking deal to be off social media for a month or like 3 months or whatever, and you don't have to like do this whole, like I get why like influencers and stuff do it, but like it doesn't mean you have to, and that like a lot of people won't even, but like won't even notice. Like some people might, and if they care about you they might reach out and be like, just wanted to check in and see if you're like doing okay, and
Yeah.
then like and then you can have a personal conversation and share as much as you want. But like yeah, this like balance of like being authentic and but also maintaining like I personally like also want to maintain like some sense of privacy. Like I don't feel the need and don't really want to like share every little thing that's going on in my life. Every, you know, or even being like, oh, I don't feel like putting my face on social media, and that not like I think there's a lot of pressure to start believing like that's a problem and you really need it like, and I'm like that doesn't feel right at all and that doesn't feel authentic. So like that's what I'm doing.
That's yes. And like for me, when like I'm going through something myself, of course I'm like thinking like, oh, how could I use this? Like, how could I teach someone else this? How could I make this easier? But a lot of times I don't post when I'm in it. Like it's funny, but I'll talk to you guys about it. Like you guys know a lot more about my personal struggles than like the average bear. And what happened is like, one of my other clients, she's like, nobody else feels this way. And I'm like, well, here's a picture of me crying at this current moment for you to like also be in the feels. I was like, it happens to all of us. We are not in there, but like I would never, for in some people, I feel like it's beautiful, like their level of vulnerability and their way to be like really open about stuff. Love that for them. I don't think it's being inauthentic to not share everything though. I think it's actually you just get to gauge that for yourself. And
Or
maybe
just you don't, yeah, sharing whenever it feels right to share, if or never sharing certain things like yeah.
I think it's
um there's just like a gajillion ways to do something. um
yes. But I think this sounds awesome. I am really excited. And if you want to
I will
within
go ahead.
I was just thinking about like the webinar process because that felt really good to you before. A way, like if you wanted to like have after like getting your feet wet for a little bit, if you wanted to have another good reentry way, like
Yeah,
maybe doing like a webinar to like kick off like the end of September, maybe even to October, like something
yeah.
helpful
What's
too.
been kind of great is like I as I was like wrapping like at the other thing that was like a huge success in like the last webinar is as I was doing it I kept reminding myself this first time is going to be the hardest. So
Mhm.
like if you're sitting here like with a blank email template and you're like, what the fuck am I going to write? Or like, oh, is this good enough? And like all the things, right? It's like, okay, it's the first time. All you need to do is like have the first one. And then like this, and like whenever the process started feeling like arduous or like tedious or like, wow, this is like a lot of stuff, or I keep thinking of extra things to do, it's like, okay, but once you do it once, like the next time will be a little bit easier and you'll have like a template and a format, and you can test that a few times until you like, and then you start making like little adjustments, and that's much easier than like making up the whole thing for the first time. And I was thinking as I was like getting close to the launch date, or like maybe after I had finished the webinar, I was just kind of looking forward to I would love to do like another one in October, and that would left room for August to be like, you're getting back and just doing like regular outreach. And then September, like when September comes, and so that's been like perfect timing in that way. But the timing that I felt like good about was like mid-October to do something else. and like, yeah, kind of like work the muscle a little bit and be like, let's see what it feels like. Let's see what it feels like after I've done a round.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
And
that's like,
make this like just an easy thing. That's like not such a big deal because it was for the first one.
and just so you know, if you can learn the skill of understanding that the first time's the hardest at this, like if that just becomes your self concept as like, I'm the kind of person who overcomes the first time I do something. Fun fact with launching, it has been something that has been an adventure and a half. And like I was talking with Sarah, who's a friend of mine, and she just finished her first launch and she was like, oh my God, like for any of you that are thinking about doing a group, she was like, it was the worst. And I was actually another thing that I'm not going to announce that for this round, but something that I went through is I wanted to make a launch formula. So, and we just don't have enough time for us to get like as into it as I would want to get into it. But like I went through and I looked at every single post. I made note of how many people had looked at it. I did like literally everything for both my launches. And guess what? Now I have a formula. And so now I've got like a way. Oh, this is launch tree. The launch tree is looking different. But I actually figured it out. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to do the same 3 posts and just add one about the group a week. And I'm just going to double up. So I'm going to have like 2 weeks of posts in 1 week. But it took like me being like the first couple times are the hardest. This is the fucking worst. I hate everything and everyone. And then it took me doing that to create my protocol and my in the way that I want to launch. So for you, same kind of thing. It's like, okay, it takes me going through and just at least following a template. Cause I've never seen, I'm like, can someone just teach me how to launch? I literally keep like, just like posting in 200K and being like, can someone just teach me? I'm like, what did you do? And like, everyone has a different way. And I'm like, I just had to figure it out for me. It's fine. So now at least it's like, there is a way, there is a formula, and it'll feel better each time. And now that I have the webinar from now that you have the emails from before, you can just take them. And now that same for me, I'm like, now that I have these actual, like the copy written from before, I'm fucking copying and pasting this shit. Well,
Yeah.
probably not exactly like this, but like, I'm like, oh,
And then putting words in is like way easier than developing the format and structure and like all that stuff, or even just having like I just found and started using like even a bunch of different Canva designs when
yes.
I was like pushing out info about the webinar, just because I needed like different formats for the info, like I wanted different formats for the information, and so now I have those and I can like use them in regular posting, but like getting the right color and getting like all those extra things actually do take time, and are like part of the like heavier lift of the first time. So yeah.
And like just so that you guys know also, like, so I'm hiring my first social media person, not just Rob to repost. I'm going to be doing that within the next couple of weeks, which I'm super excited about. I just met, we're like scheduling time to meet this week and talk about it. However, now that you have these systems, now not that everyone needs to hire eventually. However, if you are in the place to hire, you know how to make a system, you know how to have this, and you can have somebody else doing like changing the dates and stuff. And like eventually, like, or you can have somebody else posting for you eventually, or doing like the webinar side. It's like, okay, so this is like the way that I usually outline it. Like one of my clients, Amy, she's definitely like a larger business. I think she has like 10 employees, but one of them she hires every time she does a webinar, and she just has a person that she like does contract work for her and makes every one of her webinars. Like she didn't even make it anymore. And so it's like, oh, nice color scheme and Canva posts. Yes, we would love that. Is it the like branding kit to me too, or is it something different? But yes, that's like, I think could be.
So you have to have the colors and branding, like you have your branding colors, but then when you go into a post, there's a thing on there that says design like style. And So go into, like, if you pick a template and then you can go to
Oh,
design at the top. Yeah, go to design at the top over on your, yep,
right or left.
in the black section at the very top. It says design. Okay, click that.
Or maybe back to it.
And then go to styles right under the white box. And then so you can just click it and then look at the thing and then click it again.
Good.
And you can pick what you like and it puts your colors in
Oh
that thing.
my God, this is awesome. And you can just shut up, Demetria.
Mhm.
This is awesome.
Isn't that fun?
This is amazing because I have all these old posts that from the last launch, and I was literally like remaking one of them yesterday, this one, and I can just go styles.
Mhm.
Who are we? This is awesome. Okay, that's very helpful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes, for you do not recreate the wheel. Thank you so much, everybody. That I think was, I know it was like a lengthy amount of like coaching, but I feel like everyone I hope has gotten like a lot of breakthroughs and like ideas. Does Maria, do you feel complete? Do you feel like you're like, I've got my reentry plan, I'm ready?
Yeah. Thank you.
Does anybody have anything else they want to add? And we could touch on like so much. Feeling good. All right. Well, if you have anything else to add for Maria, feel free to post in the group. Good luck with your doctor's appointment. We're sending you all the love. And who would like to get coached next? Yes. Demetria, start with
I
the
can't find my thing. Okay, so the reentry plan helped me too because one, I figured out that one of my things on Instagram was because this webinar that we're working on, I did it a while back, and I'm like, I bet nobody's going to scroll all the way down and see that post or that copy. So I just clicked that and I was putting that copy into new ones. I'm like, nobody's gonna go looking for old posts and like that's the same copy. Nobody cares. So I gave myself that permission. But I do wonder about kind of the re-entry plan for emailing my list that I have already. Because it's been a while. So I mean, I guess I could just send them some valuable information and pretend like I've never been gone. So I don't know, like, what do you think about that?
So I want to think about like the reason why you would want to like announce it and the reasons why not to announce it. What would be the reasoning to announce it?
I would think that, and I'm in their heads like, oh, I don't know why. Actually, I don't have any. I guess just as a way of explaining, why I've been gone, but I don't have a real reason, for not being consistent. So that does not feel good.
Okay, why not?
Why not explain it? Because maybe they don't even know.
Yeah, they might not
Yeah.
even notice. And if you want to do like a catch, like kill two birds with one stone, you could be like, I hope everyone's had an awesome summer. Let's start this fall strong with the Curing Your Confidence workshop or whatever. Like it being like, it's like focusing on like starting the last half of the year strong, like having something like to focus on like them and what they're creating.
Mhm.
And like looking back at the pillars for your thing, it's like you've got people who want to curate their life. You've got your pillars. I think I have them from the last round. It's like I remember this, but like within the Curate Your Life program, when you're like, okay, like it's like think about them. They want confidence, health, goals, and environment. These are the things they want. What would be great for them? And what I'm hearing is like you're like, oh, I'm shifting from like the focus on like my thoughts to what are like, how can I help them like improve their thoughts?
Right.
it's like, and being like ending the summer strong and things like that. Or it's like enjoying it. Yes. Love you too. Amazing. How does that feel for you now?
I think that is good. And so I do want to send them an email about the webinar, and it
Yeah.
is free. So it's just giving them things. Like I'm asking them to join the webinar, but that's it. So it's not like I'm going in cold with a big ask for something. I'm giving them an opportunity.
I love that thought with a big ask. This, okay, I want you to translate this, just giving them an opportunity.
Mhm.
Take that thought, which just sounded like it came so naturally to you, which is beautiful, to coaching with you one-on-one. It being like,
Mm,
oh, I'm just giving them an opportunity. It's like, this is not a big ask, it's just an
right,
opportunity. Because then, like, thinking about like doing a paid offer or things like that, it's just
right.
an opportunity. If they want it, great. If not, totally fine. I'm still going to be cheering them on, you know?
Yeah.
And the other thing I'm like, literally, like, someone remind me to text Maria, because the other thing about like reaching back out to people on social media is that did I tell you this? Like, I told somebody yesterday, if you copy and paste the same message, and I think we've talked about this, Instagram thinks you're a robot and deletes you.
Mhm.
Don't do that. That is what happened to me. That's why I got blocked in May from
Right.
social media, is that, and also Facebook. When you do reels on Facebook, they're not at the same pace that Instagram is. And so essentially they just like were like, you're lying. This is not, or it's like you're stealing property and you're copywriting things. And I'm like, great, no, I'm not, but like fine. So just like for the like catching people back up or like messaging them about the webinar, for your email list, you can send them the same message. But if you send them like a one-on-one thing,
Mhm.
then that is where, like, messaging on Instagram, you just want to like use a voice memo or something to make it faster.
Okay.
But how do you feel about reaching out to people and being like, hey, I'm like so excited. We're doing this Curate Your Confidence workshop. How do you feel about reaching out to the current people in your sphere about this?
Good. I'm excited about it. I actually did an outline because it's going to be pretty different from the mindset webinar, because I went through the mindset webinar and I'm like, it's not the same.
Ooh, okay, okay.
So,
What is the difference of this one?
um, so I guess the other one was really like basics of mindset.
Okay.
And this one is really, talking about, so I'm going to go through in this one, I'm going to talk about self-trust, letting go of the need for external validation, and feeling empowered to take up space.
Ooh.
So I can pick some things from the mindset webinar, but it's different.
Do
So
you have the outline with you right now? Do you want us to take a look at it real quick? Because I think it could help.
sure, that'd be
If
great.
you want to like put it in the chat. Again, this is like
Okay,
where I want to like move our coaching calls to for the end. So
right,
like a lot more of like this, like getting into your systems and like seeing them.
right. Okay, here I go. This message is too long. Oops.
Okay.
I can't put it in chat.
Do you have like a Google document that the thing is on?
Mhm.
Okay.
Oops, where'd it go?
Do you like
Do you want me
copy, or you can even do edit, like allow everyone to edit?
yeah. Moment, Tita, let me find it. Okay, so I can share where? Oh,
At the top right.
okay.
And then you go to share. I keep misspelling curate, y'all.
And
Share.
I can see.
Anyone with the link can,
Okay.
or if you want to
And
do either way,
yeah, I did anyone with, can I just paste that in the,
that in the message, and then I'll pull it up. And I like this because I'm problem solving for like what the group
Oh, that was fast.
It is awesome because then I'll put this in here so you guys can see it. So with here,
Wow,
and
that was really fast.
request access to, let's see. I'm just requesting access to edit it. But let's
Oh,
take
okay.
so unshakable confidence.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me just give you a new link. How about that?
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Because this is the part that I feel like I needed the most help with when I was first starting out. And I was like, I just want you to tell me what to say. I was like, can you just like help me tell me what to say? Here.
Right.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. So within this, within what I was looking at the outline already, it was like,
Mhm.
so dive into, I'm going to see, um, I like this. Okay. So being like, I want you to share about like you and how you like you had to for here. I think this sounds great. It's like within like the intro, I would also maybe include something like, are you ready to? It's like, what will confidence create for them? What's their why behind confidence? And actually, I wish I hadn't clicked out this. Like, if you go back to your pillars and being like,
Mhm.
because they feel like they have it all together, you will know your worth, abilities, and build self-esteem. I want you to think about, like you said, that they might be wanting confidence in a certain space.
Right.
So this could be like where it's like something like at the beginning, like confidence is key, whether you are like just about mindset into confidence. It's like we're gonna dive into building confidence for um to curate your life, whether that be losing 5 pounds, getting that promotion, or um or finding or building a beautiful relationship. Confidence is key.
Okay.
And then being like, it's like, because this gives them their why. They're like, okay, I want to stay on this webinar because like I know I need to be confident in order to get the result that I want. So it's like building that back in.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then I want you to think about, like, for introducing yourself, what was a time when you really I would like to for it to be something about your business. So when you're introducing yourself, like how did confidence build into you building your business?
Okay.
So
So
you
I
can,
have that down lower, but I can move that up. Well, it was just it's on number 2.
okay, yeah. So I would say that, like, for here, because then what else you can do is like talk about confidence, and it's like some of you guys might be interested in the Curate Your Life program. The level of confidence it took for me to create this program was huge. And so then when you like tie in, it's like Curate Your Life program
Okay.
took or it's like the reason this is so important and something I want to teach you all is this is the basis for how I created the Curate Your Life program. And and remember how we talked about like allowed you to quit your job, allowed me to quit my job and pursue that this contribution for the whole year. And so or versus full time. And so being like when you say something like that, first off, it gives them like, oh, it's like, PS, if you're here to learn more about that, I will for sure be explaining about that after we do a deep dive on confidence. And like practicing being like, practicing like saying that, I think would be awesome.
Right. Okay.
Then it's like, do you see how it like ties into the future? It's like, I know you're interested. I know that like some of you guys know that like I had left my job. I know that some of you guys know that like you might be pursuing some sort of contribution that you want to create. And that's why this is so important. By the way, if you want to work with me, I'll get into all that later, but let's
Right.
focus. Do you see how it's like seeding? That's like the
Yes.
seeding, like, oh, building intrigue, like, oh, I really like what she's saying. Let's keep going.
Right.
Okay. So within here, I like this.
Hmm.
I would just talk more about problem here.
Okay.
Be like, and we'll get into that. We'll see more about, oh, I need to actually comment. Whoops. You'll actually see, like, let's talk about like the insecurity cycle or something like that. It's like the insecurity cycle that keeps us trapped, or like the something like that, to be like, I'm gonna say insecurity cycle we all get trapped in. And then it'll be like, instead of explaining growth versus fixed mindset, that's the solution. But then you can be like, for that solution, being like, how to break free and live confidently. Because then you don't want to give too much away there, where they're like, what is growth mindset? What is this? What is that?
Okay.
I think sharing your story was going to be good, but then like digging into like being like, how you can apply this in your life. Here it's like application, along with like, it's like, listen to my story and see how it changed it. You could change your life too. And then reflecting on the current mindset. Yep. And so it's like, when you're like, maybe instead of mindset being like, it's like, remember how we talked about like doing like identifying like a specific area they want to grow confidence in by the end of this webinar.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to identify a specific area or mindset. It's like something to shift by the end of the webinar. Because then what we're doing is like a mini win here. We want to give them like the mini win to be like, yes, this is it. And then being like, so within that area, like find your why for this area. And being like, okay, what is your why? Why does losing the last 5 pounds mean something to you? And like, is that what you meant by developing confidence like this?
Self-trust, just being willing to go for it, have your own back, being willing to fail, not beating yourself up, and like celebrating everything.
Okay, so it's almost like, okay, can you walk me? Okay, so it's like they're going to reflect.
And I've had questions about the activities, so I need to think more
Let's
about.
let's talk through it. So tell me, okay, so they come on the webinar, they're like, I want to build more confidence, I want to curate it. How are you going to guide them through creating more confidence? And we can like problem solve it. That's what I like about this. I'm like, I want to see what you guys are actually doing for your webinars, because I think that's next level.
Yeah, because I think a lot of times people don't even try because they don't think they can. So
Okay.
feeling the confidence, feeling okay with setting the goal, like saying it out loud, and then like taking the small steps and being okay with not getting it right, not doing it perfectly, having to try it again, being okay with all the things, all the emotions that come up. And that's, I think, where the fixed and the growth mindset comes in. Like growth mindset is like, okay, let me try that again. It didn't have to be perfect. how can I change it? And fixed mindset is like, oh my God, they saw me and now I can, I knew I couldn't do this. I could never try this again, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. So let's think about like within this activity, I think you might be teaching too much.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like, I think that like, so like, I think like setting and achieving small wins, being willing to, it's almost like all of these are like separate webinar topics that we could
Gotcha.
create separate activities for. So,
Okay.
and a way that you can utilize this is you could be like coming back to the pillars, being like, this is like within the whole sphere of my goals. It's like I have a whole goal setting. I have a move the needle protocol or move the needle process that teaches you how to do all these things. But for now, we just need to get you started on the way to that. So that's why we're going to talk about confidence at the very beginning of that. Again, do you see how it's like seeding? It's like,
Right.
oh, like there's a huge process to this. And so like almost like being like bringing these, what I would do is I would be like, oh, and like I think that like the unique you, I like this. Okay, so it's like I feel like developing. Okay, so I think that it's almost like a helpful piece could be like identifying what their fixed mindset is and what would their growth mindset be. And it's like what keeps us stuck in the fixed mindset is it's like what keeps us stuck in our goals is the fixed mindset. I want you to think about one goal and I want you to think about your fixed mindset thought and then I want you to think about your growth mindset thought. That's
Okay.
that's actually something that I did. It was a limiting to empowering beliefs one. And it was like, so it's like being like, okay, so it's like here being like, okay, so the mindset, so this is where you're like, okay, this is where we get like the fixed stuck cycle. So you're like in this like second piece, you're going to be like, okay, why do we get stuck? The second that we go to like start our goals, it's like we have thoughts. It's like I'm trying to think of my way, like it's like we get these like there are all of it's like our mindset.
All the chatter and all the reasons why we can't do it start to come up.
Huh? We can't do it comes up. Now be like, most people ignore those thoughts and try anyways, or just go for their goal. Or it's like, or just give up entirely.
Right.
It's like it would be like most people just like hear those thoughts and like this is like the stuck cycle. And I would like do a diagram and be like, it's like get a goal, freak out, quit the goal. Get a goal, freak out, quit the goal. It's like, and because it's like it is about. I'm trying to like bring it back to confidence because like now it's kind of like shifting to be a little bit about goals.
But then so confidence is set the goal and trusting in yourself to take the steps, being okay with the failure and knowing that you can. Molly did a really good thing, like confidence is being willing to trust in your ability to build competence in it. And so there's the time when you're not doing it perfectly right. And you have to figure out how to get there, how to build that skill, how to that you have to be okay with learning and failing. And so when you're confident in your abilities to deal with the emotions, deal with what comes up, but still keep going to get to where you're competent, then that's really self-confidence, I think.
I think so too. And so I think that it's like, okay, so let's say, okay, so it's like within the confidence and competence when we're here. Oh, this is the wrong one. Within here, what I'm hearing you say is that like this is like essentially like confidence to do something, and it's gonna be like based on like they're gonna learn how to build skills, right? That's what this whole thing is about. It's like confidence to build a skill to eventually get to this goal, like to the bigger goals of why. So
Right.
the first thing they need to do is, I think, being like, okay, it's like identify maybe your strengths and being like, okay, it's like what is something that you already feel good about? And then like within this area, it's like, okay, so being like, okay, it's like maybe like it's like the when you were talking about the thing that made me think about this is like the it's like a lot of us think that confidence comes from like having like exceeded expectations in a certain area. So it's like we think that we are confident in our job because of what we did in the job. I'm going to teach you, instead of like focusing on what you're doing to create confidence, it's like people think that like you need to do something to like it's like if you do enough, then you will have the promotion and then you'll become confident. What you're teaching them is you're teaching them how to become the person who is already confident so that they can they're
Do
gonna
the thing.
so they can do things in a better way.
Right.
They can have whatever they want.
Right. And part of that too, so that's where I'm like the self-trust
Yes.
that you'll follow through and that you can push out all the voices,
Yes.
you
Okay.
know, and not, you have to go inside for that validation and not outside. Um, because you'll get different things from different people.
Uh-huh. So I think a cool activity here, if you're like looking for like an idea for something, could be like, okay, what was it's like when you did something, you've done something before that you were struggling with, right? Everyone has like their confident, we can call it like your confidence thought. It's like you have like your confident growth mindset thought. Everyone has this confident growth mindset thought, or else you wouldn't do anything. So like there is a thought that everyone has. Some of the thoughts can be like, I will figure this out. I'm that's mine. I will always figure it out.
Mhm.
I don't give up. Like what are like some of the thoughts that you have like to develop, what are like good growth mindset thoughts?
Um, I'm thinking about thoughts from, so yeah, I'm thinking more about the people who do it anyway because they think they have to. Like there are things that people do, maybe not from a total growth mindset, but like the I should do this. So they do it and they don't feel great about it, but they do get it done. So I'm thinking about how to make that easier. Like I have to um
I want
like
to
raising kids, right? Like you don't know when you start out and like you figure it out because you have to. You don't have to, but you know, most people like they figure that out because that is something that they want to do and they feel called to do, so they figure it out. But doing it from a place of
like this, something like this. Like it's like
yes,
I'm gonna try it another way. Like literally,
yes.
there are hundreds of these bad boys. You can be like,
Mhm.
just look up like instead of try this. Like I had one of these in my classroom. It's like so it's like literally like this skill. It's like everything that you even that thought, like everything you want is on the other side of fear. So I would say here, like
Mhm.
looking up, being like, okay, it's like I think the activity could be like, sorry, I'm gonna like look up poster on Google. And like what you can do is you can share and be like, okay, you have done this in the past. Like you have been able to be confident in the past. You've developed the skill of like learning how to learn a skill. It's like you're like learning how to be confident in a skill that you don't yet feel proficient about. So like with like dating, I'm thinking like it's like, okay, so the dating thoughts might be like, it's like I give up. It's like I'm not good enough. It's like this is too hard. All those thoughts, like I'll never be able to figure it out. I'll never be happy in my relationship, like anything like that. And what we want to do is be like, these are the things that this is what keeps you in the stuck cycle. Like these are the stuck cycle. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to develop this growth mindset cycle, how to like switch your thoughts in these areas. So I want you I keep clicking to the wrong thing. For the activity, this is where you're going to learn how to do a confidence thought swap. And you can be like, okay, I want you to think about like an area of your life where you were confident, like where you overcame like the struggle of like learning the skill. Like where maybe it's like you had a new role at your job or you learned this. And it's be like it can be something completely different.
Mhm.
And then when you joined, it's like you overcame the thought fixed mindset somewhere. And then you can be like, okay, what would the converse be in this area? Like I can figure it out. If that was a thought that worked for you in your job, I want you to learn how to thought swap. And I want you, and you don't have to use the words thought swap if you don't
Yeah.
want. Then you could be like, okay, I'm going to teach you the skill of or so it's like then you can use like what you did for your job for dating too.
Right. And how to do that, how to think about that the next time something else comes up that's hard. Like, okay, let me go back to areas where I'm confident and how can that translate to this new problem and teach them that that's so then just take all the rest of that stuff out and just tease them with that like the building self-trust and take that out to tease them with that to actually work with me.
Yeah. And just being like, because then it's like, so that's just one piece of it. And I want you to like feel that confidence that like it's like already you have been able to feel confident in your life. So it's like what we want to do is we want to compound your belief that instead of just being confident in this one area, you are confident in other areas. By doing that, you're going to curate your confidence and you'll be able to access this wherever you go. So I'm just going to go like, this is like, um, and this is like a whole separate thing. So I'm
Right.
just gonna like put this in. Do you want me to cross it out or do italicize? Like,
You can strike through it and then I'll know.
so this is like what we want to do would be like, hey,
Yeah.
okay, it's like separate stuff that you can
Yeah.
touch on. Be like, for my clients, it's like we compound on the confidence. I like that word. Like, it's like compounding and doing all this stuff. Actually,
Mhm.
it's like this is more like. Do you see how it's like? Why would they coach with you? You're
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
like the whole like that I've been learning is like people are like, you literally taught them how to get a presentation. Why would they ever come to you to get a presentation? I'm like, that's a good point. Yep. So the key is like, okay, it's like I've taught you how to do this. Now I want you, it's like within my program, it's like curate your confidence
Mhm.
by compounding. Is it okay if I write it on here directly?
That's fine.
By compounding confidence in your in one area and attribute it's like giving that to what's a word? It's like
Transfer.
thank you.
Transfer.
You're amazing. It to a new aspect of life. It's like it's like I want you to think it's like there are so many. Ooh, I was like there. That's why curating, can't spell, confidence is a huge is one of the most important things I teach in the Curate Your Life program. It's like and then you can almost do like a diagram where it's like first you learn how to transfer confidence, then it's like see yourself as a confident person, then it's like we transfer that confidence to goals within your health and home. Goals, health, and home. It's like if you want to be the kind of person that like sets, it's like that, and that's where you can bring back to like it's like only if you want to say something like that, it's like this is, it's like, when are you doing this again? The 13th. It's like as we transition to fall, I want you to look back on 2023 and know this is the year so much shifted for you, and be able to apply this confidence in all aspects of your life. And if you want support, I work with people for 4 months, right?
90 days, so a quarter.
Okay, awesome.
Is that
90
3 months?
And help them create memorable quarters, something like that. To do that, then you talk through how to do a consult, and then be like, any questions? How does this feel?
That's good. And I think I can do meatier stuff if we're just talking about that. So then that does get back to more of what I had like in the mindset stuff. Like I can go through that a little bit deeper dive, but I do like the teasing them out for, coming to me for the next step.
Yes, I think this is going to be badass. I'm really excited to hear how it goes. And like when you're sharing about it, you can be like, it's like, do you ever feel like it's like you feel confidence in one area and you don't have confidence in other areas? That's the skill I'm teaching at the Curate Your Confidence workshop. So it's like, ever feel like you're confident in one area and want to bring that to the rest of your life, come to webinar.
Nice.
And then for the marketing beforehand, just like having people sign up the week before. So not this week, but next week, starting on Labor Day, maybe like start announcing it, and then being like, do 4 posts. What I would say is that like that week, do like your topic is confidence to get people to sign up, and then the week of the presentation, do goals.
Okay, so don't promote it this week.
You can if you want, but I feel like this could be the confidence and goals. I feel like that could be all you really need. If you're talking about this week already, just hone it in really next week with confidence.
Okay.
I love
Alright. That's awesome.
I'm so glad. I'm like, this is because this is the shit that I do on one-on-one calls. And I'm like, we need to bring this to the group. I'm like, we're just gonna start doing this now. I'm like, this is because I feel like this is the piece that's like a lot of people don't like. It's like I knew that you were doing a presentation, but now that I can see that, I'm like, oh, this is like, think about doing all your presentations now from the thought that it's like, I'm going to teach them one small thing. How can I make that connect? Like, that is fucking gold. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
super excited for that for you. Andrea, do you have anything that you want to add?
No, I don't think I have anything to add. I mean, I saw that you had that on there and I was like, oh, maybe I should sign up.
Guys,
It looks good.
yes, amazing.
Yes. Come be a friendly face. I love having friendly faces in the audience.
I do too. I'm like, I totally get that. And Andrea, I want you to think of a win really quick. And I think I'm getting a UTI coming on. It's super fun, loving life, but I need to run to the bathroom super quick. And so think about what you want to get coached on. Demetria, if you have any questions, let me know. And I will be back in like literally like 2 seconds. I just want to make sure my poor body is like handled. But I'll see you in a second. For your patience with my body. Andrea, what has been going on since last week? It's so interesting that Maria had the same, like, I'm ready to get back in, like also going through some shit. I'm like, I haven't heard from Talia for a bit, but I'm curious as to if she's going through some stuff too. I'm gonna reach out to her today, but like, how are you feeling after last week?
Um, Feeling okay. I did end up, I don't know, I might have posted like twice or whatever. So I guess those are wins. I mean, honestly, I felt like I was kind of at the same place that Maria is, still just being like, oh, well, how do I re-enter into this? Like, what is my plan? Um, yeah, just not feeling like it's very clear, I guess. I have a lot of conflicting feelings on, like, I don't know, just I think taking what other people are advising or whatever, and using that as a way to feel stuck, because I felt like before, I know that I was spending a lot of time posting on social, and I was using that a little bit against myself, but I felt like, well, that's the way that I'm getting the majority of my clients. And then I feel like, I don't know, I mean, in this group, right? Like, I think it's been more like, oh, the one-on-one, like, networking, that's more important or whatever. And so now I just feel like I've stopped it all. I was trying to do the one-on-one, like, outreach stuff, and I just didn't I don't know. I guess I wasn't seeing the results in that either. So then I was like, I guess what I was doing wasn't working before, and this isn't working either. So
Well, it did work before. Okay. So it's like, if it did work, we do not want to stop what is working to learn something new. It's compounding, just like we were talking about with the confidence thing. So it's like posting on social media worked for you, right?
mhm.
Okay. So when you posted on social media, let's create a really like a very chill reentry plan for you. It's like, you're ready now. After talking with you last week, you're like, yeah, like, we want to create this. This is a business that we're going to like actually bring into the world. We're feeling like safe enough to do that. I'm already doing this stuff. I know how to make it work in some capacity. Let's expand on what's working. So it's like, when you like, it's like thinking about like your business formula almost. Do you have a list of anyone that you did consults with, or like when you posted or using like those same posts over again, like Demetria was saying?
I mean, I have been trying to track like my most, I guess, interacted with posts. I think it was top 10 for the quarter that I was looking at. So I have some of that information. I mean, I do have some records on like people that I've had consults with, but I mean, honestly, I haven't had a consult since we began.
Not going to focus on that.
Right.
Remember, it's like, because it's like, you notice how your brain's like, this isn't working, and like nothing is working. And it's like, it's great brain, but we want it to work. So I'm just gonna, every time your brain does that, I'm just gonna bring you back and be like, yep, okay, that's fine. What can we do to bring in a consult? What has worked before to bring in a consult?
And I guess that's not clear to me.
Okay. So how many consults have you done in your lifetime?
Oh, I don't know. I would say probably maybe 10.
Okay. How many people have you signed?
I mean, for various things, I mean, probably more than that, probably 15 or 20.
Okay. So of those 20 people, who have signed up to work with you and paid you?
Of the how many? I mean, like the 15 would be like paying clients. So I've had, I think, probably less consults than I have had people just signing up to work with me. But that's like my group coaching, right? So
Right.
guess-
It doesn't matter. We're
Okay.
gonna, people have said, do you hear yourself? I'm like, just gotta catch you. I'm just like, Andrea, we're not going there today. Okay. So with 15 consults or 20 consults, 15 people have signed up to work with you for group and one-on-one in your lifetime.
Well, no, I think I've had about 10 consults,
Okay.
like actual one-on-one, like talking to somebody consult, and then probably 15 to 20 people have actually paid to work with me.
Okay. Awesome. So you're getting people to say yes without even doing a consult. Yes, it was for the group. I was like, I know it's for the group, but they paid you to work with you. That's a ton of people. What did you do to get these people in?
I mean, I think it was just sharing, I guess, about my own journey. It was a lot of social posts. It was a lot of just like when I was doing the group coaching program, just like really like promoting it a lot. I mean, I don't know, like sometimes we're more successful than others. So I guess I want to like tell myself that I don't really know what worked and what didn't.
You hear in yourself, right? Where it's not going to go. It's like, he's like, I was like, nope, we're not going there. Okay. of course there were some times that were more successful than others. There are times that we feel better than others. It's part of life, but we want to focus on the times we're more successful. Let's like take a gander there. Okay. You were able to bring in 15 to 20 paid people. That is like not an easy feat to do. I didn't do that for the first 2 years of my business. Okay. So we are thinking about like these people. And I think what we talked about in the past couple weeks were that you felt like you were talking about like what you were sharing your own journey, and you were really talking about like you and your experiences, and like you were in it. It wasn't like you were like, I'm Corinne Crabtree and who I love Corinne, but it's like you weren't trying to be Corinne, you were being Andrea. You're like, oh my God, this is happening. It's awesome. This is what I'm doing. It felt like you, right?
Yeah.
I just need to get back to her. No big deal. Okay. So I want you to go back and I want you to look at these posts that worked for you. How long ago would you say that was?
I would say probably at least like a year ago.
Okay, awesome. So we're just going to go back and be like, okay, what did I sound like then? What was I saying? How did it feel differently? It was like non-scale victory. When, like, is this, tell me when.
Yeah, still going further, I guess.
And you see how it's almost like, so people don't like to, typically, people aren't loving pedestals. They don't love to be like, you're better than me. They want to be with you, right? And so we've learned that. Great.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I guess somewhere around here.
Okay, so let's take a look at the wording here. And like being like, okay, every step. Let's see. That's like kind of like just like we'll get better. C for caption. Oh, swipe for the caption. Look at this.
Oh, I just wanted to come in here,
I
say
know.
happy Tuesday to you guys, give you guys a little bit of something that I was thinking about this morning.
Okay. This is just like, hey, I've just shared something I wanted to think about. Look at this. I didn't want to deal with emotions. It's like, I started to reparent myself. I learned it wasn't going to kill me. What? This is so good. And it's stuff that you've been sharing recently, but it's more on the I'm with you versus like I'm better than you. Because I figured it out. Kind of, not that you haven't been sharing like that, but like let's take it's like okay, I figured it out. Come to me. It's like, yeah. Do you see the difference? Oop, oop, oop. Oh, I can't hear you.
I didn't say anything.
So I'm like, we know what works. We know that like this you, it's like talking with, it's like this kind of stuff is awesome for your people. Let's just bring these people back in. Be like, hey, how's it been going? It's like, so it's like, do you see it's like the personal story post being like, it's like, I felt so scared to do this. It's like turn to love. It's like within this being like, it sucked at this point. Like, it's almost like this one's more like, it's like, I was in it and then this shifted. This one's more like, I've already shifted. You can still share the exact same story and be like, okay, this is like me before I shifted. Like, this is what was going on. I can just feel the skepticism. I was like, what is coming up for you?
I'm not even sure. Probably just, I don't know. I don't know that it's not going to make a difference anyways.
Okay, maybe brain. Maybe it's not going to make a difference anyways. But would you care to continue on the path of doom and gloom? I don't think that is what we would like anymore.
Right.
What would be the problem? If it doesn't make a difference anyways, You can literally just do what I was saying. Like literally for my launch, I am copying and pasting the one that I did in 2022. I'm like, what did I say then? It was so much better. This launch was the woat. I am so glad that you guys showed up. I am so grateful. Y'all, I looked like a bitch in this launch. Like, I don't even know. I was like, literally, it was like looking at like the second launch. I don't think this is the one, but it was like I looked back and it was like, I just did not look like myself. It was just so sassy. And I was like, who is this person? That's not me. I was like, this is not, and it like, even like, it was like, not this one, because I actually like that one. But it was like, I was like, I was like, that would probably be why this is, and not that this like launch like wasn't good, but it was like, I don't know, I just felt like I looked really sassy and I was like, look at this, look at her. She's kind of friendly, but like she's kind of like, I'm judging you. Like, I don't like the way I looked in this. I was like, look, it's like, I can do it. I'm the best. I was like, ew, that's not me. I like literally like just judged the crap out of myself for the past week. And I was like, well, 5-minute funeral. It's like, that's not Megan. That's not Megan. That's not the Megan I want to be in the world. And I thought I had to be really professional and like really like, oh, like I figured it out and I can help you figure it out too. And literally it's like, no, I need to be weird. I need to be me. I need to be like way more just like myself, you know? I'm just thinking of the last one I did. And I was like, I was going to go back to it, but we don't need to see that. I was like, it was just a very sassy version of me. That's what I thought it took to be 6 figures me. I was literally like, oh, my brain was just confused. I saw that Brooke and Stacey are very serious and intense. And I felt like I needed to be very serious and intense. Of course, if I'm learning from Stacey, I felt like I needed to be like Stacey. I felt like that's what people wanted for a business coach. Not what you guys want. Now, Stacey's been as a client of Stacey, and as you are a client of Corinne, love the way that she markets, but it's like that isn't maybe bringing the full me to it. Like you, like the like being like, hey, these are the thoughts I had on Monday. How are you guys? Like that's Corinne would never say that, but you said that. Do you see the difference?
Yeah.
So if this doesn't change, like why would that be terrible for you to like literally copy and paste old wording for you now?
Oh, I mean, I don't care. I can copy and paste. I've done it before. Like that's not a big deal for me. It's just more, I guess, in my mind, annoying to have to like go back through and scroll and copy and paste. I mean, I don't know. It's not that big of a deal.
I think that there might be a bit of a fixed mindset occurring. Like literally what we were talking about with Demetria and being like, oh, it's like it doesn't work for me, it's not going to work. But you figured out how to break free from the growth mindset into the fixed brain. The fixed mindset, I'm sure when you first started losing weight, where it's like, I'm not good at this. I give up. I'm not any good. I can't make this any better. It's too hard. I'm making all these mistakes. I just can't do it. I'll never be that smart. Plan A didn't work. My friend can do it, but I can't do it. I have a feeling that this is where your brain is now with your business, and it's where you were with your weight loss. In order to lose the first 90 pounds, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure at some point I was there.
Right. Do you hear your brain? Do you hear your brain? It's like, I'm not there anymore because I didn't lose 10 more pounds. So obviously, if I don't get this award that someone arbitrarily made up, then I suck, which is like totally fine. Our brain goes there all the time too, by the way. Like it's like zero, like, but being like, okay, what could I be missing? Maybe this could be something I'm missing. Instead of being like, okay, what's it going to change anyways? Being like, let me just use a different strategy. I'm just going to use the old strategy that already worked. It's like, I can always improve. It's like my marketing is already, I want you to hear me and say that like the marketing now that you're doing is already fucking great. I'm loving it. I'm listening to it and I'm like, yes, yes, yes. Like when you were talking about like deprivation and things like that, I was literally like, every time that I've eaten before I read this post, if I like overeat, I'll be like, I just won't eat as much as tomorrow. That's how I can lose it. It's like, okay, I can make up for it, the overcompensation factor. And I was like, boom, a week ago, I was like, that's why I do it. I think that it takes deprivation on the weekdays to overcome the weekends. And I don't need to do that anymore. I was like, boom. So your marketing is already amazing. It's literally helping me. And I know that other people, like I saw Christina posting on this other one, like this one or something. Look, people are commenting. Can I show you something about people commenting on things? Do you notice how many people have commented on my shit?
Mm-hmm.
Notice how many people are liking my stuff? 2. Same with this one. 0 comments for like 2 months. Pre-launch, same shit. So you're doing awesome. Look at all the no's. This is all the no's. If I interpreted 0 comments, 0 consults as no's, I would be feeling quite frustrated as well. But I know that's not what it takes to build a business. You know? And like going to like the weekly evals and stuff, I didn't reach out to people, didn't post for 2 months. Didn't post for 2 months. Okay. And that is not what it takes for you to build a 6-figure business at all. You don't need to be bringing consults in every single week. I don't still at this phase. Literally, like, look at how many consults I've had. 1, 2, 3, 5 for the group, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've had 10 consults all 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I've had less consults than you have had in your lifetime this year. And I'm still gonna hit 6 figures. So if we could focus on this, that would probably help you. Does that, sharing my numbers, does that help you a bit? Like to see that it's like, you're doing awesome. We just want to help make it even stronger.
I mean, yeah, it helps kind of, I guess, normalize it a little bit.
Okay. So what do you want your plan to be? Let's get you like, and again, like what we talked about last week, it's like, if you have to do some processing outside of your business on other shit that's going on in your life, totally fucking get it. Like literally, like I shut down my business for a month in 2021. I get it, but you're in this program to help move you forward. And so it's like, I want you to just like, if you could separate your life and your business, that's what this is for. You know, in your business, you want to keep going. You know that you want to bring this into the world, right? So what would you like? What would feel very easy and possible for you to do within this next week?
I don't know, because I spin out in like what's gonna be
The best. I want you to think about what's the
what's
easiest.
gonna be.
Don't go there. Don't go there. I just want you to think about what could be. Are you hearing yourself now that I'm pointing it out? Like the like.
I mean, I already know, like I know that like I go from like spinning out and confusion and overwhelm and whatever to just like complete inaction.
Okay, so you're close. It's like we gotta go from sympathetic to dorsal. Like here's where you're at right now. We have to focus on deregulating your nervous system. Like right now you are like, oh, there's too much and I'm gonna get confused and it's gonna be really hard. We're gonna just like, boom, you're here. You're in the frustration, confusion. Instead of going to here, we want to deactivate with something that your nervous system already interprets as safe. What feels very safe and very easy for you to just get back down to here instead of starting something new. I'm not going to tell you what would feel like something that will keep you in the like, okay, I'm calm, I'm grounded, I'm safe. What would take you there?
I mean, I guess just posting on social. I don't know. Are we talking about actions within my business?
Yes.
because I have to say, like, I've seen that chart 100 times over, and I don't feel like I completely understand it. There doesn't seem to be like a really like concrete like
Way to
what
deregulate.
you're supposed to do to like bring yourself down.
So what I like to do is I like to coach myself, and I find out why I'm in the why am I triggered right now? What is causing, so for you to do action, what you said that I go from like the confusion to shut down. What takes you from like doing fine from here to the shutdown? And that's what's going to be in your high to low value. The what takes you from like you're doing great, you're doing the work, to shut down.
I think, yeah, it's just the confusion on like what to do next.
Okay. So we know that that's always going to trigger you. What are like 0 consults, $500. We know these are your triggers, right? So we know that this is where your brain wants to go. What is a more empowered way that we can think about these things? That's what the whole chart that we did here is about. And do you think it's because you don't maybe like, and like there's literally like no harm, no foul, but when we're thinking about like your mindset cycles, do you feel like you know what, like I know what your low value cycle triggers are. Have you done a deep dive into what, like, and you can think about it like, what are my sympathetic triggers? What are my dorsal vagal triggers?
I have not done this one. I watched the video for that. I don't know. I feel so stuck in a low value cycle and for so long that it's like, I don't even know what triggered it. I've just,
Let it go. Come on. It's okay. It's okay. We are here for you. We know you're capable. Like you've done so much incredible stuff already. Okay. We don't know why you're here, but you have gotten out of it. You've gotten out of it enough to post. That's huge.
yeah, I'm just, I don't know. Maybe I'm not open for coaching right now. I feel very like angry and resistant right now.
That's okay. That's okay. I feel like that too sometimes. And this is totally fine. Maybe like taking some time to do a deep dive on this. We are here for you, okay? I just don't like, so we can pause on the coaching, okay? This group is purely just to show you what the systems could look like. And I just want you to think about like ways you've already gotten out of the low value cycle just by posting. That's already a shift to go from not posting for months to posting. Do you see that as already shifting?
I guess.
Okay. Well, you are, if you're feeling angry and resistant, that first off, it's normal. It's like you're not supposed to like your coach all the time. Trust me. I was like, it's okay. I can hold space for all of that for you. And I want to know if there's anything I can do to support you. We're all here for you. And if you need anything within the next week, you let me know. Also, for your one-on-one session, book that shit. Let's talk. Let's get through this and let's keep going. Okay. Because you are so good at what you do. You've lost 90 pounds. I know that the world needs more of what you have to offer. Literally just looking around, I'm like, I see so many people who are emotional eating. I'm an emotional eater. My mom, my aunt. I just would love for you to like see the amazingness I see in you and know that like there are so many people that you can help too. Whenever you're ready. All right. But
Yeah.
I love you guys. You are killing it. We got 3 more weeks left, and I will be seeing you guys next week. All right.